going on between Gavin Newsom and President Trump. Gavin Newsom, after President Trump said in the noon hour in the Oval Office that he called him yesterday or the other day, Gavin Newsom tweeted the following. He said, quote, "There was no call, not even a voicemail. Americans should be alarmed that a president deploying Marines on our streets doesn't even know who he's talking to." Well, President Trump contacted me from Air Force One on his way to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where he'll be in just a little while. He said the first call to Gavin Newsom was not picked up. The second call Gavin picked up. We spoke for 16 minutes. I told him to essentially, quote, and this is quoting the president, "get his ass in gear and stop the riots, which were out of control more than anything else. This shows what a liar he is." Said I never called. So here is the evidence. And here is the call log that the president sent me from his phone. This was June the 7th. Now, granted, this was on Saturday. But look, there's 1:22 o'clock in the morning. Which would have been 10 o'clock at night, 10:22 at night, California time. There was an outgoing call for 4 seconds. And then there was an outgoing call for 16 minutes. So that from the president, which says is proof that he spoke to Gavin Newsom early in the morning, our time, late at night, Friday night, would have been June 6th, I guess, in Los Angeles. So, Governor, over to you for the response.
I was say that's next, right? We're waiting to see what if Governor Newsom has a response to the president's. Essentially, what he has there is the receipt for what he says is the call that was made.
It's all about the
long conversation. Yeah, exactly. In a 16-minute conversation. As you mentioned, as things were heating up is the timing of that call, as things were really just beginning to get started. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes.
Dan, as the president.
As of the making of this video, Gavin Newsom has not responded, but what I absolutely love is President Trump has learned and grown from the riots of 2020. He is not waiting for things to get worse. He is meeting force with force and making sure that this sort of violence doesn't foment and spread. And look, the fact that President Trump called Gavin Newsom at past 1 a.m. Eastern time tells you that President Trump truly is working around the clock. I mean, can you imagine Joe Biden calling someone at that time of the night? I mean, if it was Joe Biden who had gotten reelected, he'd probably be in his second or third REM sleep cycle. But no, President Trump truly is working around the clock to make sure that our country is safe. Now, not only is President Trump taking decisive action to quell the violence and make sure that more innocent people don't get hurt, he's also pushing back against this narrative. And the Democrats, for whatever reason, they are out there claiming that there is no violence. This really must be a talking point because Gavin Newsom, Nancy Pelosi, and Maxine Waters, and many more went out today and claimed that we shouldn't believe our lying eyes.
And even those who were out of step with what we are advocating, peaceful protest, did not create any violence. Nobody was shot, nobody was killed. Get it in your head. And so, when martial law is called, what are you gonna say? I missed the point. Don't miss the point, you all. Don't think that somehow, because they called out the National Guard, there was violence. There was no violence. I was on the street. I know. And I went from downtown detention back out into the community, talking to people what happened in Paramount, what happened in Compton, what happened in Inglewood. So, first of all, get it straight. And don't just rely on what you're being told or the few incidents that you saw.
The few incidents that we saw just a few seconds ago, Maxine, you said there was no violence at all. Is there no violence or were there just a few incidents? Because those two statements contradict each other. You can't have it both ways. Look, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember your lies and keep them all straight. And that's exactly what the Democrats are doing. They are lying their ways all over this, and they are trapping themselves in their own lies. So over the last few years, President Trump has been talking about the invasion on the southern border. And a lot of people, especially on the left, were very upset with his use of the word invasion. They were like, illegal immigration is not an invasion. But take a look at this because, look, I was kind of 50-50 on that word, but after watching these videos that are flooding X and TikTok and are just all over social media, it's very clear that that's what's going on.
This is our city, and this was Mexico. You can't kick us out of the land that was ours. Donald Trump! Fascism! Let our people free! Let our people free! Suelta nuestra gente!
What's the windblower for?
Just for the fucking tear gas to blow it back at those motherfuckers. If you have a fucking blower, bring it out! Push them back! We will not do 1992 again with your kids. I was 12 then. I'm 44 now. I will die for my kids. And all of these young people are here are my kids because I'm an LA native mom. These are my children you're fighting. You made your best. If you can hear me, expect me in your office on Monday for attacking my children.
If you could say something to Donald Trump right now, what would you say?
Donald Trump, you can suck my left nut, you can get out of my drawer. You're just Mecca Salma Hayek wouldn't give you the time of day, and because Claudia Sheinbaum make you look like
I guess she identifies as a man, which is very on brand for the Democrat Party. And look, if that is the attitude of the left, then that explains why at all of these protests we've been seeing Mexican flags. Like I said in my previous video, imagine going to any other country in the world. If you or I went to another country, whether it's Canada, China, Australia, can you imagine if we started a riot, were destroying and looting and like attacking local law enforcement and then waving American flags? We would be locked up. We would be deported like that. Yet this is allowed to happen on American soil, and the Democrats want us to pretend as if this is okay, or in the words of Maxine Waters, there's no violence. Look, in my previous video, I also asked you all to come up with a nickname for this, and one of my favorite ones was Mexican Insurrection. And after seeing these clips, I think that's what I'm going to call it, the Mexican Insurrection of 2025. Here's just another gentleman, well, I hate to call him a gentleman, but another dude, hombre, bad hombre, with the same message.
We don't agree with the term illegal. We're undocumented. We've been here for thousands of years before you guys showed up, screw up everything. We think we should organize together with the U.S. working class and fight together and create a better system. We're anti-capitalist. We think socialism does work, real socialism, not Venezuela, not Cuba, not any of that crap that they try to sell us as socialism. And we believe it would be a more humane system that will take care of most of all people's necessities.
Is there a country we can look to kind of model the socialism idea?
The only model would be Soviet Union the first 4 years. After that, it became a mess. Sadly, there was a bureaucrat leadership that grew out of that, but it has to do mainly with the attacks of the U.S. and all big powers against that system that was working. In the few years that it lasted, it showed the world that it could do much better than capitalism.
Bye-bye, hombre. Deport, deport, deport. That's all I have to say. If you don't like it here, if you want to turn us into a socialist hellhole, you can get the heck out of here. Like, I have absolutely no patience for that. Look, I used to think that these people were the fringe of the Democrat Party and that unfortunately they were just pulling the Democrats further and further and further to the radical left. But I've come to believe now that they've actually taken over the Democrat Party and are holding it hostage. I mean, just think, it makes so much more sense now what we saw at the DNC last year. During the DNC, I know a lot of you didn't watch it because you wanted to watch your blood pressure. I don't blame you. But in case you missed it, they had land acknowledgements during the DNC where they would come up and talk about how we're living on stolen land, and they condemned the colonizers and the conquerors and blah, forgetting that all of human history is a history of conquer and conquest. I mean, that's nothing new. It's not as if that is unique to the foundation of America. Literally, every country in the world has some form of that history. I mean, it's just the nature of mankind. It's the nature of the rise and fall of civilizations. But the Democrats keep trying to paint America as uniquely evil, and in doing that, they are permitting this sort of violence to happen. And that's why you see police officers and agents being attacked left and right in this Mexican insurrection. One of the scariest pieces of footage is actually cops who are hiding under a bridge for their own protection, and the rioters above throwing rocks at their heads. And one of them was hit so hard that his helmet fell off and he started bleeding.
down! Get down!
Oh! Oh, he got... Oh! Fuck yeah! Oh my God, he got... Oh, he's...
Yeah, just he's lucky, quite frankly, that he's alive. A head hit that hard with a concrete stone, like bigger than your hand, I mean, that can cause some real damage. That can be fatal if it hits you the right way. One of the most disturbing images was a piñata of President Trump that was being smashed to smithereens in the middle of the streets. Now, I would like you to imagine, what if this was Barack Obama? Let's say that during the Tea Party protests, which, of course, the Tea Party protests were actual peaceful protests. You didn't see any riots. But what if during a Tea Party protest, you saw white people in the South beating a piñata of Barack Obama? The Democrats, the media, all these civil rights and groups like the ACLU would come out and decry the racism and talk about the horrors of white supremacy and white racism and white privilege and white power. What if that was Joe Biden or Kamala Harris? Yet, for whatever reason, if it's a piñata of President Trump, totally fine, no one blinks an eye. Well, here are the top 6 nicknames that you guys came up with in my previous video. Proposed name for these riots: the Dana Bash Bash, not an insurrection riot, or LA Clown Convention. Rent a Riot, that one's funny. The Mexican Insurrection, so obviously that's where I got the idea for that one. The Los Angeles Loco Fest 2025, and the Summer of Ice and Fire. Also, as a fantasy nerd, I really love that one. What is most horrific about these riots, so this Mexican insurrection of 2025, is that the Democrats claim that they really care about minority communities, and they claim that they care about immigrants. But it's actually minority communities and immigrants, legal immigrants, who are being hurt the most. Just take a look at this footage of a minority mother who was attacked while she was driving her car. I mean, you could just absolutely hear the horror and the terror in her voice, pleading with the rioters, hey, I have babies, leave me alone, leave the car alone, let me get away. And yet they still surrounded her car, they were beating it up. And unfortunately, I did as much digging as I could, and I couldn't find out whether or not she was able to make it out of there okay. But, since there's only been one, as of the making of this video, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's only been one dead body that's been found so far, and it wasn't hers. It wasn't just this woman, though. A lot of the businesses that are being looted around the Los Angeles area are owned by legal immigrants.
This is so ridiculous. This doesn't look like this is for they're protesting for ICE or anything. This is they're doing just for the looting the stores and everything. I saw they break into the Apple store, they break into the Adidas store. This is not they're doing protest.
Yeah, it wasn't just him. There's another one. This one, I believe, from a local Fox affiliate.
Earlier, we were at the Apple store. We were at the Adidas store. Both of them looted, the glass shattered, a lot of things stolen. And they're big companies. They'll take a hit. But it is the small, the mom and pop businesses that have also been looted that are heartbreaking. Joining me now live, Nimat, his daughter Sheila. They've been in the jewelry business, Nathan's Jewelers, since 1987 here on South Hill. And we're going to show you the shattered glass in just a moment. Nimat.
So I'm going to stop there just because his English is really broken and very difficult to understand. But basically, it's a family-owned business, and they're not one of these major retailers. It's not like they own like a branch of a national chain. I mean, this is a jewelry business that his family started from the ground up, and they were just absolutely destroyed with the looting. I mean, all the jewelry inside, the diamonds and pearls and all of that, gold bracelets, silver, just taken. I mean, it's basically financially destroyed their family. And the other lady who was there with him was his daughter, and it's just tragic for both of them. Now, one of the best moments, now at first it's not going to sound great, was when Apple was looted. Here's footage from that. So you see everyone running out, and they stole so many phones. But the best part actually is today, when the phones, I didn't know they could do this, but they were able to lock all the phones and do it so that a siren, an alarm is going on nonstop. It's impossible for them to turn off, and a message shows up. sorry, very loud, but it says, please return to Apple Tower Theater. This device has been disabled and is being tracked. Local authorities have been alerted. And again, you heard the siren there. So it's not as if they can just go around with it hidden in their pocket, hoping to unlock it and sell it on the black market. Nope. If you have a stolen Apple iPhone, you will be found. But over on CNN, Brian Stelter is telling the viewers, what very little they have left, not to believe any of the videos that they're finding on social media.
Notice, Brianna, we all live on our phones these days. We're all scrolling through social media. You've got to be careful at a delicate moment like this to look at the timestamps, look at the dates, look at when things are actually posted, and if they're really from the situation they're purporting to be. A lot of these algorithms are surfacing hours old or even days old content. So you might be looking at a video of something, wondering what's happening in LA. It's actually from 2 days ago. And that's, it only matters because it can give people a false impression of what's actually happening at a moment of unrest.
Okay, we know that the LA riots are spanning several days now. Whether it was 2 days ago or earlier this morning, I don't think it matters. Because it's all coming from the same violence. It's all coming from the same Mexican insurrection. Just an absolute joke. But over on MSNBC, they had a different take. They pretended that what we're seeing in LA is basically a celebratory atmosphere. Similar to when your favorite sports team wins the Super Bowl or something.
But it's not chaotic. It's not, nobody's, other than what you see behind me, it's actually relatively mellow, even though it might not seem that way. It's like a sort of, another thing that happens at protests like this is that they sort of settle into almost like a celebratory atmosphere, as much as like a confrontational one.
Okay, that's one way to cope with this if you have no other way. Now, in today's video, I would like to acknowledge G-Ren, Mike Filsami, Sue Bryant, hello Sue, and Jenda Minoru as the members of today's Governor's Club. These are people who have given tips or super thanks to the channel. I appreciate you as always, and I'm so glad that you enjoy. Now, two more quick good news updates to what's going on in Los Angeles to close out today's video. Number one, people are being arrested. And so what happened last night is that now that the National Guard, the Marines are there, they are cornering off some of the protesters and surrounding them. And once they're surrounded, they're taking them into custody. So that's what you're seeing here. On one side, you see law enforcement, but this group of protesters is actually surrounded all around. And so they're not able to escape. And you can see them here. They're actually pleading, like, let us go. Nope. They were taken into custody and they are facing charges. And that was happening all over the city. Last but not least, President Trump's approval numbers, despite all of this, are rising. And believe it or not, they are rising among minority voters, specifically immigrants, legal immigrants.
Start off on the fact that immigrant citizens, immigrant voters, foreign-born voters have gone tremendously to the right on this issue in 2024 and 2025 versus where they were in 2020. Closest to or trust more in immigration. You go back to 2020. Democrats, get this, held a 32-point lead on this issue. Immigrant voters were in the Democratic camp. Jump forward to 2024, 2025. Look at that shift, a 40-point shift to the right among immigrant voters. Republicans now lead on this issue by 8 points over Democrats, more so than any other group that I could find. The group of voters who became more hawkish on immigration were in fact immigrants themselves, immigrants who are registered to vote in this country.
And look, I've been very open on this channel. I am the son of legal immigrants. They came here the right way. And look, it's offensive to see what's happening in Los Angeles. When you have worked so hard to become a citizen here, it is not an easy thing. I know we have family in the Philippines. Some of them tried to come here and they weren't able to. One of my uncles, it took him years before he was able even to visit us here. And so, like, I understand how difficult it is. But when you see people gaming the system, having just absolute disrespect for the law of the land, and who aren't even trying to assimilate, it really is insulting to the people who have done it the right way. And for the Democrats who just want to give them the same benefits, who just want to, pat them on the back and make life easy and just roll over them, shame on you. Shame on you, and no wonder your approval ratings are in the toilet. But as always, all of that is just my analysis and commentary. That is what's going on in the world of politics from my point of view, and I would love to hear from you. So, to be honest, I was never offended by President Trump's use of the word invasion to describe what's going on at the southern border, but it never really resonated with me. Like, it wasn't like I would have never described the situation as an invasion until these riots, this Mexican insurrection started, until we started seeing what's happening in California and, you know, people waving Mexican flags. So I guess my question is, have you always viewed it as an invasion, or are you sort of like me? Or maybe you don't view it as an invasion and you still don't. Like, where are you in terms of that word to describe what's going on? Let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please be sure to leave me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask, but it really does help me reach more viewers like you in the algorithm. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.